Hello students, this is module 4 part 2 switching system software. So this is connected to module 2 half part also. So these are the topics included in switching system software. So in this video we'll try to cover up to 4 topics, first 4 topics. For this you need to study chapter 5 in the digital switching system written by Syed Darali. So let us go through the introduction. So in the introduction, so it includes how the digital switching system becomes complex. As the number of subscriber goes on increasing, the complexity increases. So throughout this chapter, the complexity or concentration is actually given for the software. So how the software drives the digital switching system. And what is the scope of this one means we'll be starting with the architecture of the digital switch and how the softwares are classified and how the connection and disconnection is done, that is call model, and how many softwares are needed during a call, and the last one is basic call features, which will end with the feature flow diagram. The question expected here is basic software architecture. So for basic software architecture you need to write this diagram and you need to explain 3 concepts. Basic software architecture, under that operating system, kernel, and also the database management system. So usually here you'll be getting quasi distributed architecture. That means at each level the level of the control will be expected and explained here. There will be 3 level of the control. There may be high level or low level controls. So usually, so you'll be knowing operating system. The operating system acts as a manager itself. So here the operating system will be controlling each level. So at each level, operating system level 1, level 2, level 3 is given. And usually the lines are connected to interface controller and interface controller are connected to NCPs and NCPs are connected to central processor. So this is level 3 control, level 2 control and level 1 control. So let us know what is an operating system. So in a modern operating system, so you'll be having the managing capacity of a resource in a computer. So or it may be controlling and tasking the other program. So it will be having separate software architecture. And the programs used are controller programs, so which are needed to control the switching system, and supervisory where the billing softwares are needed, and again to monitor it you need one monitor program. And there will be different types of operating system generally: serial batch system, multi-program system, time sharing system and real-time system. According to telephone communication, real-time systems are preferably used for a digital switching system. So it interfaces the telephone features, and most of the DSS is quasi distributed architecture. That means the processor or the controller will be having control on different operating system. So then kernel. So it will actually concentrate on basic functions, that to basic primitive functions. 4 primitive functions are listed here. One is process control, that means how the switching is done, then scheduling, and to store customer data you need one memory management. And for incoming and outgoing control you need controls with terminals and buffers, and you have domain protection for memory read and write operation, because every database has to be stored in a main computer. So for that purpose these primitive functions are important. And usually the scheduling is done on the priority and everything will be included in a main memory. And usually priority in the switching system is given for the maintenance. Afterwards it will be concentrated on the call processing and some ancillary functions which are included for the kernel. This is main part of database management system. So this will be in the middle control, that means level 2 control, where you need to store the relational database. So what does relational database means? So it may be consisting of some similar records which will be having relations. So it is called records, and it is a relational database is a simple 2-dimensional arrangement of data elements. That means it is a simple rows and columns, and the name given here is tuple. So we'll be calling it as tuple. And if your tuple consists of 2 values, it is called pair, and if your tuple consists of n values, it is n tuple. So generally it may be serial number, subscriber name, address, directory number, line equipment number, whether it is STD, ISD, call number, like that. So one example is given for DSS interface. So what may be storing here means it may be cross reference of directory number assigned to equipment number. So I hope you remember distribution frames where we'll be having directory numbers mapped with line equipment number. That means, so how the subscriber will be calling their number and to which line equipment it will be connected in a switching exchange, that type of information will be listed in a table. The same thing is given here when the calling subscriber, when he will lift up the hand phone and he'll start dialing the number means, so it is a scanning. Then afterwards the database will be search for the particular number, that means called number in the directory. Then afterwards it will be attaching the second subscriber, that means called line. So this is about the database management. So completely what is database means, it is complete information of the subscribers or the customers. Then you'll be getting one separate question on concept of generic program carrying 4 marks or 6 marks. So usually 3 names are given for this generic program. One is a generic program or base program or core program. I hope you may be knowing what is the meaning of base program. The base program is nothing but the main functions of a switching system. That is basic functions which are needed for the switching system. So usually the basic functions on switching, that means connecting it. So modern switch system usually employ generic program concept, that means how generally it is connected. But it is very difficult to just go for a generic program with respect to particular switching system, because some may depend on switching, some may need controlling architecture, like that. For that purpose, the reliability of the component depend on the design of your base program. Usually the telephone companies will be identified by their base program itself. That means for every switching exchange there may be different types of the concept of generic program. So generally what may be in generic program means it may contain operating system, or it may be switching software needed for a connection, and to maintain it you need maintenance software, and to store your customer database you need a software, we'll call it as office data. And sometimes if it is STD and ISD calls means you need translation of that number also. So these are the things where you need to go for generic program. And afterwards you get one separate question on software architecture for level 1 control. So let us just go back for the previous diagram. See, as I told, this is a level 1 control. The subscribers are the lower level. So the first point is it is the lowest level of the subscriber. I hope from the diagram easily you can just imagine what are the components in level 1 control. There will be line module, trunk module, and the next one is interface controller. And you'll be having some hardwares which are connected here. And what is the hardware needed means interface controller is a microcontroller where it will be having diagnostic capacity of a particular line module or trunk module. Then operating system which will be working at here is level 1 control, and afterwards you need some recovery software also. So here, so as it is a lower and primitive level, if this fails, that means suppose assume that this interface controller is disconnected means, so you can assign all the line modules and trunk module into a particular another IC. So for that purpose it is actually called local recovery. So why it is local recovery means it is a lowest level of control. The same thing is listed here. So you can observe here lowest level of control, lines, trunks and other low level functions, and it has a small microcontroller which is included in an IC, and it has operating system level 3, and IC do diagnostic of lines and trunks, same thing. And here after diagnosing, so it may be a central processor which will take the control of that, and usually the central processor can done diagnostic program and it will request an IC to run it. That means you can replace it also. And it has got local recovery. So why it is local recovery means, so it is a lower level of the switching system, so where you can replace that component. So next to the software architecture level 2, it is nothing but the intermediate level. So where you will be having only one single component, but it is connected to level 1 and level 3. So you will be having what? Network controller. So inside the network controller, the maximum importance is given for DBMS. What is DBMS means? It is the database management system where it will be storing every relations with the data. That means it may be distributed database, customer database, and also service routines. Customer database means information about the customer, and service routine means it may be dial tone, ringing current, the informations which are needed for the subscriber. And usually the central processor is associated with an NCP because it is a last level of the switching system. The NCPs have their own kernel. See here. So they have their own kernel and they have an operating system at level 2 which will be working. As it is a middle level, the system recovery is very crucial. So why means? Because if one NCP is disconnected, so you can observe in the diagram. See here. So if one NCP is disconnected means, so complete line modules and trunk modules and even interface controllers connected to this will be disconnected. For that purpose, this is actually important to diagnose it and to replace this NCP. So particularly you will be having special NCPs where they will be having backup capability. So what we'll call it as duplication. For example, we'll be writing like this, shadows below this. So usually central processor and also NCPs will be duplicated. So in case of failure of the one NCP, it should be replaced by its duplicate. There will be two types of NCPs which will be used. One is dedicated NCP and another one is independent NCP. So we'll try to know what is the difference between these two. Okay, so system recovery is very crucial. So here NCP should have the ability for self-diagnosis. That means it should be working having backup. Backup means duplication. So maybe dedicated NCP or independent NCP. What does this means? So dedicated NCP means you'll be having many NCPs. Out of that, one NCP has got control and it is responsible for recovery. For example, assume that so you have 10 NCPs. Out of that, one will be having recovery capability. That means one is master and another 9 will be controlling that. Another 9 will be controlled by this processor. And independent NCP, so that means there is no control on NCP. If this NCP fails, CP will be responsible for the recovery of the software. So recovery mechanism in case of both is depend on the equipment. So ultimately it says that so either central NCP may be responsible for the recovery or even central processor itself. So because this is the highest level, so the recovery is very crucial. So then we'll go for the top level, which is the highest level. So usually in the highest level only central processor will be there. And if you have central processor means you need to have a storage capability, that is DBMS, to store database. For that purpose you need a computer. So which will provide all high level function. It may be usually mainframe computer. And usually what it will be storing means database management. What is database management? So it may be office data or some high level subscriber data or patch level, that means the lower level functions, extra features and the maintenance and even the recovery in case of hardware and software failure. So same thing is represented here also. Recovery software is needed, switching software is needed, application software is also needed. And most of the modern days switching system need operating system level 3 at the software architecture level. And usually it will be having multitasking also. So as this is at the highest level, it will be responsible to do everything. And as it is the highest level, the system recovery is very crucial. For this we'll be going for active standby mode. So most of the central processor works on what? Active standby mode. So what is active standby mode means? So there will be always one central processor available to go into active mode if one central processor fails. So this is nothing but the duplication. Suppose assume that you have one central processor which will be failing. So behind that you'll be getting another central processor. In case of this failure, so this will take out the active processor mode. So this is done to improve the reliability, because so in a switching system, even for a second, the switching system should not be go for a non-working mode. For that purpose, so you need to go for that. So we have 3 modes listed. It may be matched mode, which is active standby mode. Earlier we know that. And there may be hard standby mode. What is hard standby mode means? You need to give initiation for the processor. That means whenever assume that your processor is not working, the processor, standby processor powered up, and it will take over the operation of the active process. That means it will completely replace it. And in cold standby mode, the instruction has to be given for the processor, because the processor doesn't powered up. That means it will be disconnected. Afterwards you need to connect it and you need to make it active. So whichever the mode is, there should be a synchronization between active mode, that means active central processor, and also faulty central processor also. For that purpose, synchronization is carried out through the functionality in case of a failure. So this is the highest level of the control. So a table is listed just to compare the levels. So first one is a priority. So in the priority, so first level is the lowest level, and this is intermediate, highest level. And if you remember the diagram, you can list out the components used: LM and TM along with IC. Along with IC in the second one, NCP. And for NCP, if you add CP, it will become level 3. And operating system which will be working at each level is, simply you can easily remember, 1 operating level, 2 operating level, 3. And even if you want to draw a diagram, means you need to remember the number of circles you need to draw at each level. That is important. 4 and then 5 circles and then 7 circles. And you need to remember common things in the each level. Hardware, kernel and recovery software are the common things, so which is represented in each level. And software needed. So recovery software in level 1, along with recovery DBMS. Along with recovery we have switching and application software. And important hardware at each level is, in the first level you have IC, interface controller. So here we have NCP, network control processor, and in the last we have central processor. And recovery, so easily you can recover the lower level, it is local recovery. And to recover CP and central processor, so it is very critical, because this is connected to many ICs, and even central processor connected to many NCPs. So try to remember this table so that you can answer the question. The question may be explained different software architecture levels used in the digital switching system. So the next topic will be covered in the next video. Thank you.